It was a big Crip wave, like 90s to like the early 2000s, like mid, like in the 90s, like that was like SIBO. I say middle 80s into the 90s. SIBO was like the topic of like the rap scene in Sacramento. And like Crips, it was already made for the Crips back then because in LA it's a lot of Crips. So Crips was just popular, period. Probably anywhere through California where it was Crips, they was just popular. So SIBO was, not only was he good at what he did, he's a legend still. But like, it just made it even better for him. And he set a tone for the Garden Block Crips. Brother Lynch Hunk and X-Rated. Them niggas set the tone for the Crips in Sacramento. Like, their neighborhood Garden Block Crips will forever be legendary. Like, through a lot of places, through California, Midwest, through a lot of places. Like, they got that type of name. They made that type of name for like their neighborhood and just Crips. So it's a lot of places like that. Bloods will have to, like, gotta explain themselves low key to other places and let niggas know like Sacramento is a blood city because them niggas made it seem like Sacramento was a Crip just city. All in all, and the Bloods was like it's barely any. I remember being in a pen and it was and I was like, and niggas was thinking that like it was more Crips than anything. The younger niggas my age, around my age, a couple years back when I was in the pen. Like so. But in South Sac is Garden Block, and that's 24th, that's 21st, that's 29th, and the other block and all the blocks in between. And I heard it was even Crips like in like Freeport area. And then Valley High Crips, and then like Elder Creek was like Crips, had Crips in their older generation. And then out of somewhere turned and they was like Black Flag. And it's a small hood called Flat Dog Crips. And within on that side of the region, that's east of South Sacramento, like going east of South Sacramento. And that's by Elder Creek. And there's a lot of Asians over there that's also Crips, KZTs and shit like that. I don't know other Crips names, but I know it's them. And 6'8", Dog Crip. And it could be more Crips blocks that I really don't know of, like through South Sac, but them is like the major hoods that niggas know of and remember. But like in the north is North Highlands, and then it's North Gallas Gangster Crips, but like they're smack dead in the middle of the heights, like that is they hood, but they're a block, North Gallas. And it's N's and M's, like they fucked with our hood, like we have the same enemies, Elm Street, we share the same enemy, so like we always was like, we like cousins. North Gallas and the Manors is like cousins. Because we share the same enemies and they used to kick it in our hood and we fuck with them. And like the other Crips that I could think of is like in Northgate. It's Crips in Northgate. And then it's plazas. The plazas is THV for the niggas and PRC for the Crips, for the Samoans, for the Tungans. I think it might be a mixture, but it could be a mixture of Tungans and Samoans, but it's either, they're Usos. Plaza Rat Crips, excuse me, to my Plaza niggas. My Plaza Rat Crips, nigga, and they was deep, 3,700. And they off of Norwood. And other Crips, it's just spread out. You know, if it's any other Crips. But 8th Street in North Highlands, for sure. That's another Crip street in North Highlands. That's their actual street. Like every hood got their hood, but the streets in between that they actually claim.